Close-Up is brought to you by the Kia Sorento R, redefining the power of Kia.
The question every soon-to-be parent has in mind is, will my baby be healthy? It's a question that's becoming easier to answer. The government offers screening for newborn babies, helping to pick whether they're likely to have Down syndrome. But scientists reckon we'll soon be able to scan unborn babies for thousands of genetic defects. But does that in itself raise more ethical questions? The man to answer them is Professor Robert Kiltzman, an expert in bioethics. He's here to give a series of lectures on this issue. I mean, you go around the world, you talk about this, you've written books on it.
Yes.
Is there a simple answer?
There's not a simple answer. We now have, as you mentioned, the technology where we can screen babies for thousands of conditions. We can screen fetuses for many, many conditions, and we can now also screen embryos before they're implanted in a woman. And we can say we want these embryos because they don't have this mutation and they're a boy, or we want these. And these are presenting many, many questions and problems.
See, even on the issue of Down syndrome, the group is a group of concerned parents here who do not believe there should be genetic testing for that. But what happens if you say you want your child screened for deafness or asthma or eye colour?
Yes.
Where do you draw the line?
Well, these are important issues. And in general, there's a tension between the fact that we like people to have choices. We believe in autonomy. We don't want the government to regulate everything. On the other hand, we're concerned about justice. And people are afraid that if we say for autism that we're going to screen babies for autism, that it'll make the rich richer. It may be something that only the wealthy can afford to do, and poor people will not be able to do it. And that's a concern. And it may discriminate more against people who have certain conditions. So I think we need to engage in these discussions and think about what kind of person we want. As it is, often people are now, at least in the United States, it's a free market. People are buying and selling eggs and sperm and designing babies for a variety of things.
The big question is, who is the we, isn't it? Is it the parents? Is it the doctors? Is it the government? Who ultimately should control or make the decisions controlling it?
Right. Well, as I describe in my book, Am I My Genes? Confronting Fate and Family Secrets in the Age of Genetic Testing, patients generally have the largest bandwidth to make these decisions for themselves. And yet it's hard. Some people I interviewed, as I describe in the book, say, if I abort a fetus that has my disease, what am I saying about myself and about my own life? So we tend to believe in the West in patient autonomy, and people are somewhat wary of the government, but you have people on both sides saying we need to engage in this because we're now being able to develop tests that look at autism, Alzheimer's disease, various kinds of cancer, and we may find tests with homosexuality, for instance.
So what, people who decide, I don't want to have this child because I think it's going to be gay, or the alternative, they want a gay child?
Yes, exactly. So over the next few years, as we develop more genetic testing, as the price goes down, so it becomes very affordable to do this, these will be questions that millions of people will face.
Not to mention insurance companies, employers, spouses, children, all of those have a vested interest in this debate.
Yes, exactly. And I think we need to begin to draw lines. Different governments respond to these things differently. There are 3 countries that allow you to buy and sell human eggs and sperm: the United States, Russia, and India. Most countries, other countries say no, but each country needs to make its own decision.
Look, I know there is so much more to cover, but you are doing a series of public lectures. If you want to hear more from the professor, he's giving a series of free public lectures around the country. We will have all the details and the details of his books on our website.